This 1.2 mesh coil head that I'm using at the moment is Sensational. This is my preferred pod from the two. It's a nice cooler, low wattage vape, really hits the spot. What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly back for another review for you. Today we are looking at this little beast of a pod kit. This is from OXVA. This is the Xlim or the Slim. It's Xlim, not too sure how to pronounce it. I'm calling it the Xlim. And this is a little joyous little pod system. We've had a few of these in the past. What stands this out amongst others? There's a couple of little features that I really like about this thing, but that will come in due course. I want to say, where did OXVA come from? This company has just sort of come out of nowhere, and they're offering some really decent products, and they're just one to watch. So if you're into vaping and you're into vape devices, and if you like pod kits, stick around and watch this video. Please smash that like button for me. Do not forget to subscribe and drop a comment down below. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the pros, cons, price, and all that stuff. Get all the good stuff out of the way, and then if you want an up and close, stay tuned to the end and watch the up and closey section. So let's get into some pros and cons. First thing that we do in FaceTime, that we do every single time, is we take this device for a vape. So I have got the 1.2 ohm mesh coil head in here, and it's at 9 wattos. And let's do this. The airflow, I should say, is about 2/3 open. If my camera will focus, it's not going to focus. And camera, now it's not. You'll have to take my word for it. It's 2/3 open. All right, let's do this mouth to lung. And it vapes. Air activation, which is always a positive, massive pro in my opinion. And you get some really good flavor. So let's talk about the pros for this thing, shall we? So as I said before, really sensational flavor. I found that there was a difference between the 0.8 and the 1.2. With the 0.8, you are getting more of a warmer vape. It definitely needs more of that airflow open. I wouldn't say it's a restricted direct lung, but it's certainly a little bit more open. This 1.2 mesh coil head that I'm using at the moment is Sensational. This is my preferred pod from the two. It's a nice cooler, low wattage vape, really hits the spot. Some other pros, you've got adjustable airflow on there. That's kind of cool. It sort of sets itself apart from other pod kits on the market. You do have a little screen as well, so you can see what your wattage is at, and you can also change that wattage if you desire. If you're going to switch between the 0.8 and the 1.2, you can boost the wattage up or drop the wattage down depending. What else is there? It's super lightweight, super comfy in the hand, and the last one, I think it just looks good. It's a good looking little pod. Dig this green, love this green. So that was the pros. Let's talk about the cons, shall we? A couple of cons. One con is the 0.8 ohm coil that I used. That was the first coil that I used. I found that I didn't get the flavor that I was after, and also the coil didn't last that long. I got about 7 days out of it before I switched to the 1.2 ohm, and I'm happy to say this has been going for over a week now. So it shows no signs of stopping, so I think that this is the winner. Now, when I reached out to OXVA, they said that they found in their testing that the 0.8 lasted a little bit longer. That was not my experience. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. It could have just been a dodgy pod. And the other one for me is the way that you access the menu system or you boost this up is you have to click the button 3 times. And then you have to round robin. It didn't affect the overall performance of the device. However, it was just a little bit frustrating. I would have liked to maybe 2 extra buttons so I can just drop it up and down. I don't have to go all the way through if I miss. And look, when you're talking, you know, mouth to lung, 1 watt does kind of make a difference. So yeah, I just would have liked some other system. They're not too bad at cons in the whole grand scheme of things. All right, let's talk about the price. What is the OXVA Xlim going to set you back? A little bit of Google food around the internet. I found it on sale in the States for $30 US. I couldn't find anywhere in Australia selling it currently. That was at the time of recording this video. By the time this goes live, or a week after this goes live, I'm sure they'll be selling it in Australia. So let's give this thing a rating. If I had to give this thing a rating out of best device ever, worst device ever, nothing in between, just best or worst, I am going to give it the best category ever. I think that the pros definitely outweighed the cons when it came to performance. And just based upon that, I'm giving it the best device ever. So with all that stuff being said, let's take a closer look at this thing and do a little bit of a deep dive, shall we? Okay, so here we have a closer look at that OXVA Xlim. So I'm gonna put a couple of quick specs on the screen for you right here. And let's take a better look at this, shall we? So this here is the 0.8 ohm pod, or the 0.8 ohm coil. You can see you've got a very nice tapered drip tip. This is actually where you fill the pod as well. And you can see the wicking ports on the inside there. Underneath, you can see it's sealed, but there's the airflow and you've got your connections. Both pods take 2 mils of liquid, and to fill them up, you simply see this little notch, get your nail under there, crack her open, just like so. This is where you fill the device up. This is where the vapor comes out, and then you do have like a little bleeder hole, so you're not getting air trapped in there, which will help alleviate some of the air pockets that sometimes you get, the air bubbles within the coils. The top clicks in very nicely, and the magnets, I've had no issues with this pod coming out of the actual device itself. This is the battery housing on the actual mod. So it is a 900 milliamp hour battery on the inside. You do have a 0.42 inch display up here. It's an OLED display. This is your fire button as well as your on off button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 clicks turns the device on, and then you can see it displays everything that you need it to. And to change the wattage, you just 1, 2, 3 clicks, you can see it flash. I push the fire button, goes up in 0.5 watt increments, 23, 24, 25, and then back down to 5. So it will do up to 25 watts. Now to lock it in, you just simply leave it, the flashing will stop, and now your wattage is locked in. It does give you a battery level indicator, it tells you your resistance, and it also gives you your puff counter. Down the front here, you've got some nice branding. Underneath is your USB-C charging port. Down the back, there is nothing. And then on this side, you've got the Xlim, and then you also have your airflow. So you do have adjustable airflow via this little slide system. Pull it all the way down, you can see you've got 3 holes open, and then you can close them off one at a time. There's a nice little bit of resistance with that airflow control as well. So that's it. There's not much to this thing. It's pretty straightforward. You cannot really mess it up. You fill your pod up with liquid, you put your pod in like so, and then you draw away. You just literally vape through it and it works. Let's take a look at the packaging. Excuse the noise, you can probably hear the rain. This is the packaging that it comes in. You can see you got a picture on the front. On the back, you've got the usual stuff. Inside the packaging, you do receive a USB-C charging cable, a user manual, and you get the spare 1.2 ohm pod. And you can tell the difference. The 0.8 has the red, and the 1.2 does not. Both of these are mesh, and they are Kanthal mesh. So that was a look around the OXVA Xlim. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Drop a comment down below. What do you think of OXVA? Do you think they're a good company? Do you think they'll stand the test of time? That's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoy it. Like always, keep it cloudy.